everybody, welcome back to another session of the Hopry. My name is Mark Starr, and today it's Friday. Now, as I promised on Wednesday, I am going to complete my three-part series this week known as the Low ABV series. And again, the reason why I wanted to do these is that, a lot of times we really focus as beer geeks, beer lovers, on the beers that have a lot higher alcohol by volume percentage. But there are some beers out there that are either interesting or are already very good that have a much lower ABV. So I really wanted to kind of take a week and focus on some of these beers. Today what I'm going to share with you is a beer from Lost Abbey that I've been wanting to try for at least a few months now. I've spent a lot of time reading it and trying to reach out to certain folks to see if I could get a couple. And I finally got a couple in the mail yesterday. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. But I really wanted to share a Lost Abbey beer as well. This is the first Lost Abbey beer that I've had on the show. I certainly plan to do some more down the road. Maybe do some of their more bigger, robust Belgian-style beers and things like that. But what I'm going to share with you today is their beer called the Red Poppy Ale. And doing a little bit of research on this one, I can tell you that it's kind of a dedication to the Flanders region of Belgium. The red poppies grow over there pretty wild out in the fields, and so this one, much like some of the other beers that come from the Flanders region of Belgium, will have a bit of a sour quality. This one will as well. It's also brewed with sour cherries and then aged in oak barrels for at least 6 months. So really excited to try it. Really excited to finally get my Lost Abbey tulip on the show as well. Bought a couple of these from the brewery not too long ago. And they're obviously one of my favorite glasses that I have. So today's going to be a pretty good day. It's Friday. I've got a good Lost Abbey beer. It's in a small enough size that I think it'll be manageable. I do want to point out as well that in line with the other beers that I reviewed this week, this one only clocks in right at 5.5%. So by today's standards, it's still fairly low on the ABV spectrum. So with that said, let me go ahead and take a moment here to open it. These beers always come with a really nice cork and cage. And I save these tops as well because they've got the Lost Abbey Celtic cross on the top. You can make magnets out of these as well. You maybe take a little bit more glue than normal just to kind of fill up that space since it's not flat in there. But anyway, you can still make really cool beer magnets with those. So I'll go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and really nice pop. And I'm not sure, there's still smoke coming out of it. You probably can't see it from there, but that's a really good sign. I know the Angel Share gets scrutinized a lot for not having that traditional pop when the cork comes out and the lack of carbonation, etc. But well, let's go ahead and see what this one has to offer up. Again, really excited to try it. Well, let's go. There's definitely some carbonation in this one. I'll go ahead and set that up there. I also think this is one of the nicer looking bottles of beer out there. The nice dark bottle with the black label, the bright red poppy that just kind of pops on there. Pun intended, sort of. Anyway, let's get started. I can smell it, and it definitely smells like a sour ale, which is good. I love sour ales. I think even within about the last 6 months I've really started to develop a palate for them. But nice glass to be able to swirl these beers in. I haven't had anything out of these yet, so well, anyway. Yeah, okay, so it really kind of smells like I thought it would. It really reminds me of, like the Duchess de Bourgogne. It has a little, you can definitely tell there's some sour cherry in there. It really kind of smells to me a lot like the Russian River Supplication. There's definitely a really strong estery quality in there. The cherries are very obvious. It smells just a touch sweet, which I'm hoping it is, just to kind of balance out some of that acidity, but even maybe a light smokiness. I am getting the oak, and I think that's kind of what is maybe making my palate, or excuse me, my nose think that there's some smokiness in there, is that oaky quality that's coming out of the barrel. I think this smells like it's going to be right up my alley. It really kind of situates itself in with the Supplications, the Duchess, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and try it because I'm really excited and see what's going on. Really good combination of cherries, the funk that you normally get from the yeast that they brew in here. I'm really tasting the oak characteristics, though they're not as upfront as maybe the nose might lead you to believe. I can definitely get the barrel aging on the palate. What I like about this beer after just having a few small sips is that it's sour, but it's not overly sour. This is a kind of sour beer that you could drink a lot of. You know, when I say a lot of, you know, you and your friend could probably get a couple of these bottles, and that's really a good amount of beer to have. Now, the head on this one, and actually I didn't even talk about the color, so let's go ahead and talk about the color. You know, it's about a brownish red color. You know, it probably likely comes from the cherries that they add to this, and I know that this is a brown ale base. So it's about colored like you would think. Now, it's not, you know, the most beautiful beer I've ever seen. A lot of the Flanders style sours really have this color though, so it's very traditional color, very true to that style. And the head on it has already kind of dissipated for the most part. I'm going to just pour a little bit more in here just to kind of pick it back up a second. But you know, I'm really enjoying this one a lot. Again, it's not as sour as a lot of the sour ales I've had. You know, I really think of things like La Folie. That thing just zaps your tongue with tartness, and this one just has a lot more subtleties in that area. I'm really loving the yeast in here though. Now, I didn't read anywhere where it talked about Brettanomyces, Pediococcus, Lactobacillus, but I would imagine there's probably some in here because those flavors are very distinct. Like I said, this really reminds me of the Russian River Supplication in a lot of ways. It's different, you know, in color and, you know, a few other areas, but you know, the two are very similar to me, and I really like that beer as well. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and sit here and kind of slowly finish off the rest of this little bottle. They're bottling these this year in the 375 milliliter bottles. In fact, that's the only size I've ever seen them in 08, 09, and 2010, which is what this one is, the 2010. But anyway, really enjoy this one. I'm going to go ahead and score it. I'm probably going to go about 94. I really like it. It's not, you know, the most exciting thing I've had. Now, you know, I could, you know, I would love to buy more of these. In fact, I probably will. I think 94 is a pretty good score. In fact, you know, I may go even a little bit higher, you know, if the color was more pleasing and had a little bit more head. But for what it is, I think it's a really nice beer. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at that. So, well, thanks a lot, and I hope you've enjoyed this week of low ABV beers. I'll definitely try to get some more of these on in the future. And, you know, until then, keep on trucking, and we'll see you later. Bye.